All right. Do you guys know what month it is? It's a trick question. It's Women's History Month. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but there's a lot of incredible women in the world, and there's some in the audience, I see. For our final speaker of the evening, I'd like to bring on a truly incredible woman. And I know I've said this before, but she is truly a genius and personifies all the characteristics of it. She is a submarine pilot and a famed National Geographic explorer. I was hanging out by the bar and I heard somebody chatting about it and I was like, hey, I know her now. That's pretty cool. Please give a nice, warm, Nerd Night welcome for Erica Bergman!
Thank you. Okay, it's Nerd Night, right? We're all drinking. So my presentation involves a drinking game. Are we okay with that? Can we all play a drinking game? Also, I make a lot of sound effects and I'm not very loud. So if I'm not loud enough, just tell me to speak up. You're too quiet. So I'm going to tell you tonight a few of the things that I don't usually get to talk about. Generally, when I give this presentation, I'm talking to adults who are inspiring, or I'm giving it to children, and I kind of have to keep the secret stories of the reality of the situation under wraps. In this case, it's Nerd Night, and we're drinking, and I'm going to tell you Submarine in the Abyss, the untold stories. So tonight's deal is, every time I say the word submarine, you have to take a drink. Can I move this? Yeah. I walk a lot. I use my arms and I walk around a lot. So, I'm a submarine pilot. Thank you, thank you. I pilot submarines, and these are not military submarines. These are like the little research submersibles. They go down, you know, several thousand feet. We do BBC, we do Blue Planet, we do PBS, we do all these underwater specials. And most of the time, it's me as the pilot and two fascinating human beings who are flipping shit that they are underwater. The nice thing about being in a submarine is, as you can see by these scuba divers, they're in this cold, cold water and they're in all of this gear. I'm in a submarine. I'm eating a granola bar. I got an extra pair of socks on. I'm super comfy. That guy's using his cell phone to take a picture. It's great. It's lovely down there. But the first thing that you realize when you're underwater is that the ocean, it's not blue. It's green and it's orange. It's vibrant. It's textured. It wriggles. It's got teeth. Hi, Jenny. Sorry. Yay, I'm happy you're here. And it's this moving, vibrant, alive ecosystem. And we are lucky enough to get to be the explorers of this phenomenal space underwater. The deep ocean is rarer to explore than deep space. More people have been to the moon than have been to the bottom of the ocean. This is a picture of the Trieste. Only 2 people went down in this teeny tiny, do you see the little white sphere? 2 guys went down. That sphere is only this tall. And I'm short, by the way. I'm wearing 2.5-inch heels. So that sphere is about, oh, you can't hear me? Okay, thanks, Dara. Dara's got me. How about that? I just hold it real close. We're gonna do so many sound effects. Hey guys. So this sphere is only about 5 feet tall. That's my height. 2 full-grown adult males went down 10,111 meters in the Trieste, and this was over 60 years ago. Nobody has been back since one guy, James Cameron, the famous filmmaker, Aliens, Titanic, Avatar. You know, the newest Avatar is all ocean-based. This guy is a phenomenal submarine pilot himself. All of his creatures are based on sea creatures. 2 guys went down in this submarine. And nobody really has been back since James Cameron. 3 human beings in the entire history of the world. There are only a few submarines that even go this deep. There's the Xiaolong. It's a Chinese submarine. It goes to 7,000 meters. Can you just tell me where's the little... Okay, there's Alvin, which is the U.S. submarine. It goes to 4,500 meters. It discovered the Titanic. Who doesn't love the Titanic? The Russians have 2 twin submarines. They're called the Mir 1 and the Mir 2. And they go down, and they've spent the most time on the Titanic of any submarine. Where is the clicker? Okay, there's the Shinkai 6500. It's a Japanese sub. It goes to 6,500 meters. Who would have thunk? And there's the USS Enterprise, which goes to 45,000 light years. It's operated by the USS Federation. It spends enough time underwater. So if it doesn't go without being said, this is Nerd Night. I was actually inspired by Star Trek as a child. The 2 guys who went down into the deep ocean were Jacques Picard and Don Walsh. Jacques Picard is actually what Captain Picard of Star Trek infamy is named after. He is named after the world's first, deepest of the oceans explorer, this French explorer who designed this submarine. And I looked at this picture and I thought, I want to look that cool. All they're doing is standing on something that looks cool, and it makes them look cool. So I decided I was going to stand on stuff and look cool myself. So I started standing on submarines. This is the first submarine I stood on. She's called Antipodes. She goes to 1,000 feet. She fits 5 people. And that was the first submarine I ever piloted. Then I started standing next to this submarine. It's called the Deep Flight. It looks like a Formula One race car, which is kind of cool. I took it to Papua New Guinea and I dove on a beautiful shipwreck off of this Chinese research ship. Nowadays, I'm in Vancouver, BC, and I just sit on Stingray. This is my daily commute. I basically don't do anything except sit on my butt all day, but I sit on my butt with a gamepad controller in my lap, and I drive a submarine around the deep ocean. The reason that this is so critical these days is because only 5% of the seafloor has ever been discovered. If you put this stage on the moon, you could map it down to a centimeter. If you put this stage on Mars, you could map it down to a meter. If you put this stage on the bottom of the ocean, you would have no idea that it existed. You would have no idea that Austin, Texas existed. You would in fact have no idea that Texas existed at all. That's how little we know about the deep ocean. So when we're underwater, we spend time kind of crouched down in these little chairs and got this little gamepad controller, and we're talking to each other. I've got an underwater telephone, and this is kind of what it sounds like. I go, topside, Stingray, we are at depth 250 feet. We are descending to bottom. When we get to the bottom, this was yesterday. This was yesterday. Yesterday, I discovered something that no human being has ever set eyes on. We took down Marine Life Sanctuary Services, and we looked at a glass sponge reef that has never before been seen. That was my Friday. Imagine what it would be like if we could all explore the ocean. Your Friday would mean that you could discover something that has never been seen before by anyone ever, with your name on it. These in particular are called glass sponges. They are the first animal on planet Earth. They are 500 million years old. They are older than any dinosaur, anything. They are in fact the second thing to exist after amoebas. and they're made entirely out of glass. These particular individuals might be 9,000 years old. And what happens nowadays is, hey, who doesn't like to eat shrimp? We all love eating shrimp. But when we put our crab pots down, the crab pot fishermen call these shrimp hotels. They throw their crab pots down specifically on glass sponge. And if their crab pot comes up and it has little bits of glass sponge in it, they're like, yes, we got it in the right spot. This is one of 17 locations in the entire world where this exists. And prawn traps are dropped on it on purpose. Oh, we got a question, but can you hold it? Can you hold it? I will get to you because I love questions.